The locals have had to keep the faith in some recent miserable years, but Hull hoping it's a new dawn. Leigh tonight bringing their own sunshine, and we're underway with Leigh in that change strip of blue and black up against the black and whites of Hull FC, the irregular hoops, and early ball, early possession for this Leopards team with Pape straight in there at dummy half, and the challenge is on here now.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows when they play against Leigh, especially after watching them in round one, how good they are, how physical they were, and what skill that they've got as well. Well, I think they're exceptional. They've won the last 4 games when they played against Hull FC, but Hull FC, there's some optimism around the club here, the improvements that they've made under John Cartwright, and they're going into this game full of confidence as well.
Well, one record they've got to rewrite tonight, surely, Hull. They'll be hoping is this home record. As Brian was saying earlier in the build-up, they've not won at home for 8 months. And after this one tonight, they don't play at home again for another month till Hull KR over the Easter period. So it could be 9 months unless they register a win here tonight.
No, well, the faithful fans keep turning up supporting them, but they need to start seeing them perform at home. They've got 2 wins away from home, but they just need to perform. Obviously, the last time they were here, they were beaten by Wigan.
Well, here comes Briscoe, leading it out. One of only 3 Leigh players tonight, 3 Hull players, I should say, who have had spells with Leigh. Briscoe is one of those, of course. Also, John Asiata famously, and on the bench, Brad Fash had a spell on loan back in 2016. So it's not necessarily one that the Leigh fans will consider as formally one of their own. This is a decent little run forward as well, which has given Logan Moy and his side position inside Leigh territory. Up goes the kick from Caesar, a challenge in mid-air. It's not clear Rapinoe was there or thereabouts, but Leigh survived and regather possession.
Well, he's certainly a competitor, isn't he, Jordan Rapinoe? Ultimate pro, good player, and he's been brought in to build this culture. Talk about the young lads in Logan Moy, Harvey Barron, Lewis Martin. We're playing with Rapinoe. Will certainly help their development as players going forward.
Has it surprised you, Leigh's start to the season, how well they've looked in the opening 3 games?
Obviously, when they lost players last year that left the club, I think everyone thought that they were going to maybe just go backwards a place or 2, but I think they've been brilliant. The way they started off the year was exceptional.
Here's Lamb with the ball to Tessignew, and New will just challenge those defenders and keep them guessing with a dummy and a portion. Off he goes, and back it goes to Hodgson now, but Hull's defence is in, and there's a complaint here. Tessignew's complaining that there was something amiss. The referee says what was amiss was the ball was dropped.
They're saying that it was lost. Some strong defence. Well, they look to get you, don't they? Tessinew, how strong he is. Look at that, the big seal there on Jordan Lennon. Get rid of players. He's looking to play, offloads the ball, gives it out wide, and you can see the ball's just lost.
It's young Andrew Badrock making his Super League debut tonight. He has played in the Challenge Cup earlier this year, but very much the big stage for him tonight.
Do you know, it's a great story, isn't it? We've seen a number of them over the years that have played in the Championship. I think he's 25, played the outside backs. A couple of years at Swinton, been given opportunity now to do a job at Leigh in Super League.
Caesar just dropping it back on the inside again as Hull look for any give in that Leigh defence, but non-giving at the moment. It's Asiata who comes out wide, and Caesar's joining in as well, and now they're joining the dots nicely, but Leigh's defence across there quickly to make sure there's no great advance. Cost wrapped up, dealt with, gets up, plays. Here comes Cartwright, Jed Cartwright back in the starting lineup tonight. Burrow, a little bit of a lull descending over this stadium at the moment as they take in these early moments. Asiata again. I think there might have been a boo from Leigh fans to our left there. How quickly they forget. Caesar takes it in, on the 5th, and here comes the last, and it's going to be popped up in the air. It's another test at the back for Armstrong, but he's up to it. And they just close him down there. Clever kick there. Leigh starting 5 from their own line, and nothing that Armstrong could do from that position.
That's perfect way to finish your set, isn't it? Stick it into the corner and get off the line now and work really hard. Asiata, you'd already seen the influence that he's got. He's clinical when he passes that ball at the line.
The noise, the atmosphere in the stadium just lifted a little just a few moments ago, because they sensed their side had a chance to pin Leigh very deep inside their own half through this set. Pape just down the middle in uncharacteristic style from Hughes, playing in the front row tonight. And the kick from Lamb is not a bad one, actually. It's just teasing the touchline, but across comes Logan Moy to deal with that and turns and finds a very decent chase for those Leigh defenders.
Well, isn't it a great kick? They only managed to make 25 metres, bringing the ball away from when they were trapped in the right-hand corner, but a great kick from Lachlan Lamb. Now Leigh looking to do a number on Hull FC.
Very much the early arm wrestle, both sides trying to wrest a bit of an advantage, bit of a psychological lift in these early stages as Martin takes it forward.
And don't go away from it, don't get that brain explosion trying to win the game early on. You've got to keep getting through your sets and don't get bored of the kick chase and working hard defensively.
Aidin's wrapped up, still midway inside his own half. They don't get carried away with things here, do they? I mean, that last win against Wigan was one of the most unexpected results of the season last year, so they are cautiously optimistic, Hull fans, but Caesar with a little burst. Last play again. There comes the kick from Cust. Marshalled by Armstrong. He's got a bit of space in which to work, but runs into a wall of black and white.
Well, didn't he do well to just evade the tackle? I think it was Yusuf Aidin, the prop forward from Hull FC. They're just trying to take that thinking time away from him when he gets hold of that ball. Armstrong, everyone knows how dangerous he is.
Hodgson up and plays. Pape goes to that right-hand side. It's further right as well as Hanley comes searching back down the middle. Little bounce and a buzz when he has the ball in hand. Now they search right again with a man who really has caught the eye in the early stages, Ethan O'Neill. Early stages of the season rather than necessarily the early stages of this match. It's with O'Brien is carrying a support runner on the inside, trying to trick his way through. They're on the last, so Lamb's left foot called into action again, and Barron underneath will catch and looks to return.
You can see that play coming off them though when Gareth O'Brien went tight at the line, and he had Armstrong inside him just looking to set him free, but just couldn't quite get that ball away to him.
By the way, there's a really fascinating interview that's gone up, that's been uploaded a little earlier tonight that Brian did with Peter Vlandis in Las Vegas while they were over there just the other week. Another set of 6 here, but some really interesting talk on there, on demand and on YouTube as well. Vlandis in Vegas. All the questions you would expect to be asked have been put to Peter Vlandis by Brian, and some very interesting answers. Are the NRL interested in Super League? What about the international game? How important is that? What about the future of Vegas, etc.?
Was there any interesting questions, though?
There'll all be fascinating questions. Here's Aidin, another set of 6 here. Hull FC inside their own half, but with chances to build again here. Burrow flicking it back in. Here's SL with that grunt. And a carry. And an appreciation from the Hull fans again as Burrow goes left. Here's Asiata. Caesar goes searching a little wider still, and quick hands have got it into Rapana. Rapana with a pass away, but Martin's closed down quickly by that drifting Leigh defence. But look where they are, 12 away. Hull FC tackles in the bag as well. 3 to go. It's back with Asiata. Taken on by Cust. This time it's Cartwright, who gets a good offload out there as well. Briscoe keeps it alive. Back to the middle. Asiata just bouncing into his own teammate. Almost getting through, but still getting away. And Cartwright. Oh, the craft, the determination, the way they kept that ball alive. And Cartwright finishes it all. And aren't they delighted?
Well, some powerful charges from Hull FC. When they shift the ball left, they look really exciting. They shifted the ball right, and Jed Cartwright got a really good offload away in the build-up to that try. And every time that you see players full of effort offering themselves, you know that something could be on, and they could be in for a good night here. The right attitude from Hull FC. Look at that, he's got 2 players around him, gives a good offload away, doesn't die, keeps on jogging, keeps supporting, offers himself, knows that if that ball comes free, he's got to be an option for Cade Cust, and doesn't he love it the way he goes in? A big start from Hull FC, the way they've started. I was talking to one of the coaches when I was walking in, and they really did fancy the chances. They said they know it's going to be difficult. They know what they've got to do, but they'll back their ability. And Jed Cartwright celebrates, and so does his dad. There he goes, a proud man moment.
Don't you love it? Lad and dad, of course, as we mentioned in the build-up, another lad and dad as well, with Adrian Lamb, the lead coach, and Lachlan Lamb at the centre of things for them. But first try of the season for Jed Cartwright. Only his second in black and white. Back from that two-match absence. And boy, are they glad to see him back.
He's been a good signing, hasn't he? Made his debut against Leigh last August, I think it was. And he played, and you know, he's a big towering forward who offers himself all the time. Got a great offloading game, like his dad did when he played for Salford back in 1997.
You've got to be a certain age to remember that, Terry. Here comes Caesar with that left foot as he found his mark. No, he's hit the post. You don't get extra points for that. And it means that Hull lead by 4 points to 0. And Leigh now looking for a response.
Well, it's the sort of start that they needed, wasn't it? So this was a big play for him. He gets Tessie and Lachlan Lamb interested. The ball's kept alive, but he doesn't switch off. When the ball goes away from you, see so many players sometimes, when the ball goes away, they switch off, but he gets back on his bike and he offers himself. Shows up, supports Cade Cust, and that's the start exactly that they wanted here at Hull.
Lovely little double pump there from Cust, wasn't it, as well, to draw in the defender and just help create a larger gap for the large frame of Cartwright to fit through. So early blow for Hull FC. And Leigh Leopards looking in the first instance to keep their opponents trapped as far down. Rapana's not looking good at the moment, isn't he? He's got it from that and he's holding his face. Physio's on to have... He's going to be okay. I think
he's got a poke in his eye.
Finger in the eye, yeah. He's going to be fine. Here's SL attracting 3 defenders ultimately to do a job on him. Amir Burrow slots in. Cust is popping it up. Cartwright. Cade Cust had gone do it again, son. But a little bit further out this time, and defenders all around him. Cust puts it back to the middle. SL has a look at the challenge ahead and decides he fancies having a go. Backing in. Burrow again. Last play, so Hull FC inside their own half, so Leigh have done a job here, restricting the meters. Caesar with a kick away. Across comes Bailey Hodgson, who we saw impressive at full-back last week. And out on the wing, runs it back to give Leigh a decent start here.
Yeah, I'd say it was impressive, average 10 metres a carry last week. And Bailey Hodgson, an opportunity at Leigh. And Hull FC defensively, they're working really hard. You look at them last year, was it 3 games that they won all season?
All season. One of those against Wigan, which was just... Did they win at Leeds as well, I think, didn't they? Anyway, it was pretty forgettable otherwise, as Armstrong takes it inside Hull territory. Back it comes to O'Brien, trying to pick out a runner. Lachlan Lamb, little dummy from him, and he does the magic this time and sets them free, and New down this left-hand side will steamroller over them. And son of the coach scored at one end, son of the coach has created at the other. It took a strong finish from Tessignew, but Leigh are back level.
Well, that's what Leigh can do to you. 3 minutes after conceding, trying to score themselves. And the class that they've got, like we talked about, the defence this year has been spectacular. Offensively, they've been good as well. And when they shift that ball out with the Gareth O'Brien and Lachlan Lamb, you can see again, look at that little double pump that he did. You talked about it with Cade Cust in the setup to the try from Jed Cartwright. You look at the work here from Lachlan Lamb, where he just pulls in the defender. Cade Cust just sets his heels into the ground, and then all of a sudden Badrock goes through, doesn't panic, gives the ball to Tessignew, who manages to get over, carrying young Moy over the line. And that's the danger of the Leopards.
Well, another dad having a good Thursday night. And like Bray says, you know, it is the most ferocious field sport in the world, but there are just moments of subtlety that make things happen, and that was one of them again, wasn't it?
Well, just the skill and the shape, and when you're tasked as a halfback, whether you're Aidan Cedar or Cade Cust for Hull FC or Gareth O'Brien and Lachlan Lamb, you've got to create opportunities, and that's exactly what Lachlan Lamb did on that occasion. Gets the defenders interested. Soon as they're plant and set, there's space on the outside for Andrew Badrock.
So this is Gareth O'Brien. What are we saying? What's the technology? Oh, golly, doesn't give it much hope, does he? 36% success probability from the touchline, but he's hit the post. Well, there are similarities, aren't there? 2 double pumps, 2 tries, lads and dads involved in both, and a post hit with each conversion attempt. It's 4-4.
Yeah, well, Lachlan Lamb, he does the work here. Just have a little look. Just a 1-2, gets Cade Cust interested. He switches off. Badrock goes through, and it's quality play from the back rower on his Super League debut, who doesn't panic. Look at that. He goes through, gets rid of the winger, and manages to offload the ball. And as soon as Tessinu gets that, it's a Hail Mary from Logan Moy at the back.
Parity, 4 points apiece. Similar stories in the scoring of each try. Where do we go from here? 15 minutes play. Here's Ipape. Hughes lining up for the carry, goes behind him to O'Brien, who helps it on its way.
Do you know, it's a bit of a wake-up call, that, conceding that try. Then for Hull FC, they knew coming into this game they had to start well. They did start well, but it wasn't in the book about conceding that try.
So O'Brien with a kick. I think he was behind the 40 when he let fly with that. But across goes Logan Moy to make sure it doesn't need any further calculations. But great response from the Leigh defenders.
Yeah, I like young Logan Moy at the back. He's exciting. He's got a real spark in his game. When you look at the back three, certainly youth and good for the future, isn't it, with Logan Moy, Harvey Barron, Lewis Martin. That's exactly what they need here at Hull FC.
That was one of the big lifts of last year, wasn't it? We're watching them under the pump week in, week out, but you got a taste, a sense of the young players that were coming through.
Hey, look, they did it tough on some occasions, didn't they? They did it really tough. Herman Essiese, he's gone for the offload with numbers around him, and Leigh get the head and feed. You see he goes in, he's got the bump, gets rid of Badrock. I think that's a tough call, that. Well, he goes to offload the ball comes off Owen Trout, goes, and then is it Tom Briscoe that loses it?
He's given the head and feed to Leigh. So Lachlan Lamb just readying what comes next. A little bit of communication with his teammates who are lined up behind that scrum in the anticipation of getting this ball out and having a go for 5 or 6 plays. This is Hanley. Now Ipape. Isaac Liu was waiting left, but it goes right, and they juggle an extra couple of yards. O'Neill. Ipape. O'Brien pops it off back inside for Trout to just drive it in stoutly. Does well. Sets a platform. They can line up on the angle, both right and left. It goes to O'Brien, who tries a dummy, but he ain't tricking anybody. Certainly not Amir Burrow, who makes the tackle. This is Ipape. Liu now right into the heart of things again and pushing hard, but Hull's defence responds well. Last play, 1 to go. Knocking on the door again, right, the ball is poor, and it's knocked on by Armstrong. Well, the referee says play on. Armstrong keeps it alive. Briscoe collects the mistake. Hull have it back. Comedy of errors.
Well, hearts were in the mouths then when Armstrong got the ball, and he managed to get a half break through the tackle. It was a poor ball from dummy half, initially to Lachlan Lamb, and they nearly come up with something though.
His weapon up. One of several new signings this year for Hull FC, of course. Refashioning their squad after last season's disasters with a new coach in charge. Cust throws it wide. Here's Barron. Bailey Hodgson meets and greets. 1 play to go. Cust left-footed will send it high. Armstrong's not going to make the distance. It's a lovely weighted chip. It's helped on again. Caesar looking for that extra kick, but Leigh's defence somehow responding and somehow getting the ball back.
Keane and Brandon, one who come to the rescue then. They look certainly dangerous, don't they? Hull FC, when they shift the ball either side, they get to the kick, and then they're ferocious in defence. Just got to make sure, we say it all the time about being disciplined here and working with the referee Tonga, but again it's a big strong carry from Tessie New.
He's done well, Pape.
Thanks for that, Eddie, but I don't need it. 3.
Pape's first little dart from dummy half, and the offload used it well to respond, like a slip catcher, as that ball came flying through to him, but a safe pair of hands.
Stand up, Herman. Hold.
Pape again.
Go forward, just keep pushing that 10, Herman, come on, mate.
Hughes, a little more comfortable ball this time, changes path, changes direction.
5. Move, hold.
Tries to find a way through.
Hold.
Pape.
5, Herman's good.
Lamb, not much room in which to work on this side. Sends the ball up, high in the air. Moyes underneath it, but a great chase down by Hodgson. And Hodgson's after again here. That's 2 tackles on the run from young Bailey Hodgson to slow Hull's progress. Help out some of the big men down the middle.
Well, that was a real good play, the ball from Barron, which enabled then Lewis Martin to get that third play with a bit of time. Just looking at the stats now, and you look at Tessie New, already made 74 metres in the opening quarter of the game, carrying the ball. He's had a huge start.
Well, those are some of the live games you can catch on Sky Sports over the weekend. Of course, Wigan and Warrington both playing on Sunday after their travels to Vegas. And the Bench podcast, well, every week we say, you know, fascinating, but this week especially, because after the England women's experience in Vegas, a real deep dive into the future of English women's rugby league, expectations, etc. And some big names on there, some names you'd expect to hear from as well. It will be, it drops on Monday, that one, by the way. And Richie Myler's going to be a guest on there as well soon, so...
Hold. Go 3, jump.
Pape dodging out, another dart. 4 gone, 2 to go. Armstrong now has got into that position. Liu across to O'Brien, inviting the run back for O'Neill. Came back scissoring towards the middle. This is the last. Pape knows it's the last, desperate to keep it alive. Armstrong taken high by Caesar. Penalty right in front of the sticks. Well, Leigh were running out of ideas until Hull suddenly gave them a platform with that high tackle.
Yeah, well, it was high by Aidan Caesar, he knew straight away as well. That all came around from that man's carry, not that one. The play before, when he gets out, he goes from dummy half, he's nice and direct. The speed, then they just quite couldn't cope with it. Hull FC, they were backpedaling from that moment on. And Aidan Caesar, who's been quite physical in this game early on, key player for Hull FC.
21 minutes played, Terry, first penalty of the game.
Yeah, it's been played in good spirit, at a decent pace, and a lot of skill as well. And you can see the shake of the head, he says that it's okay. Aidan Caesar. No, the ball comes in, he makes the decision to go over and pull the trigger. He comes flying in.
Well, just hit the shoulder and bounces up, doesn't he? He's unfortunate to a certain extent.
It's forceful, dangerous. It doesn't meet the threshold of high-level force, which takes it down from red to yellow. It's a sin bin.
Well, Aidan Caesar can't believe it. I think he was about to walk away, considering himself told off. But that reaction tells you it all.
It'd be disappointing. He's asking a question about where the contact was made, and there was a grab, but then the ref is saying that where he hits him is it his bicep that comes over the top. You see, and his bicep hits Armstrong in the head. You know, you make the decision, you jam in, you go in, and you go to that contact at speed.
Look at this reaction. Well, we can't see on that one, but he was absolutely befuddled by that. But what a moment in the game. First penalty of the game, it's a yellow card, and Leigh, who looked to be running out of time and running out of ideas, suddenly give a chance to take the lead in the game here.
Well, I said it, I think it come about from the speed from Edwin and Pape. 2 tackles before the penalty was given, he was just direct off the ruck, and Hull FC were just like fighting then to try and win back the control and the dominance of that play of the ball. But Pape, everyone knows he'll go on a win. Look, he goes on a win. He's nice and direct. Just tucks the ball under his wing. He fights. He's got the urgency to get up, play the ball. Then Armstrong goes, look at the other side to Leigh, who they're looking to play. And then all of a sudden, from this play, they just couldn't quite cope with it. The balls were just too fast. And then you can see now that Eden Caesar comes flying in, hits Armstrong, and it's 10 minutes in the bin.
Yellow card, in your opinion?
Well, it's been, all you want is consistency, and the referees have handled that the same way every game that's been played. It's a yellow card.
So hold down to 12 for the next 10 minutes, and Leigh have the lead. And here comes Hughes leading the charge again for his side. Here's Ipape. He's waiting patiently. O'Brien, Lamb, left they come again. Inside track, Salt, but a slippery surface. Trout. Ipape.
Jordan, quick in the rocks. Don't touch the rocks now.
Liu, O'Brien, O'Neill again with a very decent carry. Takes some dealing with from those Hull defenders. Gets an extra yard or two than maybe Hull would have wanted to give him. Ipape comes out again. They're on the last once more. Hanley. Here's O'Brien sticking it high. Moy underneath it. He's going to catch. Oh, he's not. He's lost it, and it's offside. Offside as they look to recover the situation. Lewis Martin coming back. The decision that Moy had touched the ball, so it could have been a lot worse, but Leigh have another penalty.
Dave, I was about to say that's a poor kick from Gareth O'Brien. Logan Moy positions himself in the in-goal area. He catches this on the full. He gets 7 tackles, and he fluffs his lines.
Yeah, it was a shocker, wasn't it? It was a shocker from Leigh. And just like when they got the penalty, it's a gift for them. It's an absolute gift for them in a position where they look to be just running out. They've got another set of 6 here once more. Ipape might as well have a gamble because plenty more place to go. Quickly played. Liu puts it back. O'Brien now looks to that right-hand side, inviting Hanley to come moving back towards the middle. Still 4 to go. Still 4 to go. And Hull are only footsteps away in defence. It's with Lamb trying to cause chaos again. Looking for the ball over the top, decided against it. Another penalty.
Yeah, Jed Cartwright comes out line, and there's a bit of a late shot from him. He's been penalised. A couple of players flying up lines trying to help Logan Moy. You can see he comes in, he hits him. And we have a closer look at this. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, we're going to see a debut here. Liam Knight about to come on. He's had 3 training sessions with his new teammates in this last week or so, having been cleared to play tonight once his registration documents were finally gone through. But he has to wait a moment because Leigh in possession and looking for more. Trout with the initial carry. Here's Ipape. Liu across to O'Brien. They're creating numbers, and Armstrong reaches for the line, but he was taken high. You could see his head ripped back. There might be more trouble for Hull here.
I think it's Jordan Rapiner. Again, they caught for numbers. That's where Eden Caesar should be defending over the. They spot it, they go for that space, they try and inject pace into the line, and they're clutching. You know, he's beaten. There's a bit of a grab around the shoulder. You can see he's beaten. Wow.
So the video ref's having a look at this.
I'll speak after you. John will.
No, there's no way that's a sin bin.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, he's not standing in quiet contemplation. He's getting word in his ear from the video referee, Jack Smith here, who's helping him to come to a decision. This could be disastrous for Hull FC. Well, Jordan, he looks a worried man.
John, come here, mate. You just give us some space, so it's okay, mate. It's contact with the head, it's forceful dangerous, and you're off your feet. It's a sin bin.
It's
John,
yellow. Well, for a moment there, I thought he was talking about a red card.
When he said he was, he was off his feet, I'm sorry, I think refs and video refs do a tough job. That to me is just, it's not a sin bin. Look, he does jump in the air, it's grabbed round the shoulder, he's pulled down. And I know everyone's about player safety and contact with the head, but we're down to 11 men and we're really difficult. Now you see Aidan Season Rapper not spending time on the bench.
This is Hughes who jumps in. The way the referee phrased that, I thought it was definitely going to be a red card.
Yeah, I agree.
But it was only yellow. And Leigh, with an extra couple of men on the field, inevitably making space. And even when it gets congested, Myla Hanley will claim a try. Referee, what's he giving on the field? Try on the field. Myla Hanley celebrated, but we're going to have to hear from Jack Smith here, the video referee, to make a judgment on this.
Tackle one, we've got to try on field. We're just checking grounding of the ball, please. Myla Hanley's got the ball at this point. Let's roll it through. That tackle's okay. He's got his hand on him when the leg comes out, so we'll run this through now. Keep going on this angle. Keep going on this angle. And we don't have sight of the ball there. Keep running it through, see if it comes. And at that point, the ball is away. We might need something from the other side, maybe camera 2. See if camera 2 is any better for us. Yeah, we'll roll this through. Myla Hanley's in possession, really slow, really slow. He's still in possession. He's still in possession. He's still in possession. And let me just confirm that that is Myla Hanley's right hand if we go back with the bandaging on. We'll just check this angle one more time. It is his hand with a bandaging on. We'll roll this through. Keep running, keep running. Right, and we'll flip back to camera 2, please. We'll make our decision on that one. And go back a little bit, please. Right, we've established that's Hanley's hand. One hand is on the ball. The hand is still on the ball. The hand is still on the ball. The top hand is still on the ball, and it never comes away from the hand. It's always in the palm of that hand. I've made my decision.
Well, it is going to be his 4th of the season. You might remember he's got a hat-trick last week, Myla Hanley. Well, he's up and running again here tonight. Video referee giving every indication that he's going to confirm this as Leigh's 2nd try of the night. And in the last, 4 minutes, this game has taken on a very different complexion. Nip and tuck. Give a little, take a little. But 2 sin binnings and a try have suddenly thrown it Leigh's way considerably.
Well, you said he scored a hat-trick last week. Well, he could be on for a few more tries there because the play's sin binned from that edge where he's going to be getting hold of the ball. And didn't he do a really good job playing with plenty of confidence, Myla Hanley? And he does ever so well to get through, use his footwork. And look at the attention he's getting, but he still manages to keep hold of that ball and put it down.
And O'Brien with his 3rd kick of the night. Missed the conversion, landed a penalty. Has landed the conversion, 2 out of 3. 4 points for Hull, 12 for Leigh. It has been an astonishing last few minutes.
Yeah, incredible. And Armstrong right to tackle. You could see exactly what Lewis Martin was trying to do. He was trying to come in. He knew that they were caught out. He had to close that play down on Armstrong, who uses his footwork, evades the tackle, gives the ball on, then to Myla Hanley, who goes into the coach's delight. And there you can see that's costly. That is some wage bill on the sideline.
The naughty step is expensive, and it might be costing Hull the game just at the moment. So Terry, what is the mindset for Hull now? What do they do in this next 8 minutes or so with only 11 on the field? Well, this helps, doesn't it? That helps.
Absolutely, that helps. Keep it simple. You can just look at the width of the defensive line that Hull have. There is space all around them, but what they've got to do is work really hard off the ruck, and when the ball goes away from them, keep working. If you're a right winger, expect to push players over to the left-hand side or start tracking back, covering something, if you can see it unfolding.
Well, this is a tough passage of play. John Cartwright will be learning a lot about those players out there, and it's a Leigh mistake, and Hull will thrive off that.
and there's always a danger of trying to find space when you have the numerical advantage. That's what Gareth O'Brien did then.
As Trout with the honest carry forward, a little more straightforward. The traditional role of that big prop forward is take it in there. Lamb's kicking away. He's looking for distance. Barron's underneath it, looking for the return. There's not a lot of Hull players behind the ball at the moment.
Well, Devon, a big thing for
and
him.
they get a penalty.
I was going to say a big thing for him will be getting through the sets, but that will certainly help waste a bit of time. That's Hull's first penalty of the game. 28 minutes, that shows how disciplined Leigh have been in this game. But it's a much-needed penalty for the black and whites.
Cust finds touch. Hull had possession. This will be at least a minute wasted. Winding down the clock on the 10 in which the two are absent. So Hull will welcome this little period. This goes tap. Here's Cartwright.
Well, that was a high
penalty
shot.
again.
Yeah. Well, again, that's going to be helping him. Jack Hughes.
If there was a script for what not to do when you've got a two-man advantage, Leigh are absolutely word perfect on that at the moment, aren't they?
And I'll even go back to the passage of play when Gareth O'Brien threw the ball over the top and tried to set Leigh through free on the right-hand side, and it just slowed down that whole set.
Well, inevitably, the fans have seen a hand on a head. He's seen it as well. They are baying for a sin bin.
Yeah, they would be. I'm just saying, just a penalty there now. And Jed Cartwright come up with a real good senior player's knock then.
Well, we say Hull are down to 11 men. I think they've got 12 on the field at the moment because the fans are acting as an extra player with the support they're giving them at the moment. And they are fueled by fury and determination as Ashworth finds the ground. Another set of six, another penalty. What a response this has been from Hull.
You know what, I'd go for 2 points here, Dave. They're 8 points behind, I'd go for 2, I'd just keep wasting the time, and then when you get the kick-off, make sure that you get the ball on the full load. I think they're going to go. I know they're going for 2.
Yeah. Cade Cuss, the experienced Cade Cuss, suddenly dropping in, and you could see where he got the message from.
Yeah, you take that all day. Well, you bring it back to a converted try. That's the difference. You get through this real tough period. The fans get behind you now. Like, you waste a bit of time here, and then you get the kick-off. You've got to complete that next set. With that next set, then I'd find the touchline.
This is a little spell for Hull without over-egging the pudding. This next few minutes for Hull could be a platform for their season, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Self-belief grows from this if they can minimise damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And that man, John Cartwright, knowing that Jordan Lane has got to try and knock this over with the kicking in the sin bin in Aidan Caesar. So, but I just think that if you're a player in a Hull jersey and you're only 6 points behind, when those two guys get back on the field, you're thinking, wow, what a job that we've done here. And they'll be so confident and buoyed in that changing room at half-time, let me tell you.
He's only ever kicked 1 goal in his career, Jordan Lane, so let's not get too excited about the prospects here. Well, it's not the purest of efforts, but he's got what it needs to go. That's the main thing. 6 points to Hull, 12 for Leigh.
It doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as you get the points on the board, and they've done that now. Now, how many times have you seen in rugby league the bit of a switch off? And let's not forget, with 2 men off, it just means that the team are a bit skinnier here now. Would Leigh go short, knowing that there's so many players drop back? There's a big pocket of green space as well, just over the 10.
Well, his spell on the sidelines is almost over. By the way, where would we be without Ian Proctor, who came up with that Jordan Lane stat? Credit where credit is due. But Hull FC have actually improved their position whilst Aidan Caesar has been off the field. He's back on, so they're up to 12. Rapana still waiting in the wings.
You bet your bottom dollar as well that whenever a player gets sin bin, they come back on, they try it ever so hard. Not saying players don't try hard anyway.
Here's Burrow on a dummy half.
Yeah, nice little run. That could have...
They're baying for not square at marker. They'll bay for everything now, the whole fans.
Well, I think the players saying he got caught high.
Well, I think he might be asking for the video referee to have another look here. Suspect there might be a card at the end of this, whether it's yellow, green or red.
Green, yeah.
I think green's favourite.
We're going to get reviewed and then we'll deal with what happens after. Oh, listen, mate. Listen. No, it's okay. I completely agree with you, mate.
When he goes in, there was a thud. It was clever work from him to get out from dummy half, and you can see Davis over the top and just adding that pressure. And that's where Burrow felt a bit uncomfortable straight away. And players know this year as well that when they're in possession, if the referee or video referee deems that there's nothing wrong with it, they'll have to leave the field for a couple of minutes. So Burrow feels that there was enough pressure, and I think that we could see a sin bin in here.
Matt Lockwood.
Okay, now the captain being called up.
We've got potential dangerous contact. It's going to go on report. We're going to go with tackle 4. Okay?
Oh, wow.
On report, tackle 4.
That was on report.
It's on report, tackle 4. It's on report, no green card process, no. I got line. Tighter mark.
So we remain card free. No judgments can be made in the instant by referee or video referees. So disciplinary panel will have a look at that in this upcoming week. But there's fire in this whole side, and there's fire in this game. When Leigh leapt to that lead, we feared for the consequences of the competition. But my goodness, we've got a match on our hands again. Some real fight on both sides. 7.5 minutes of the first half remaining.
And the coaches were saying before the game that it might get a bit fiery, this encounter. Well, it certainly is. And just look at the Hull FC players now firing off the line.
Got another 2 minutes, 2 and a bit minutes before Jordan Rapida comes back on. By the way, there's an offload that has given Ipape the chance to have a little investigation as to what's ahead of him. Davis.
Oh, that's a good
There's
carry.
Liu.
That's a great carry from Liu.
Ipape. Davis is alongside him and some rattling those whole defenders, but they hang on. And now we reach the last. It's going to be O'Brien who chips towards the corner, just trying to hang it up there. Moy goes up and collects safely. On his own in the in-goal area, spilled it, but in amongst the traffic, no problems.
Yeah, he showed bravery, didn't he? Just like Martin did, and does well to evade a couple of tackles. They've got some genuine speed at the back, some size with those two wingers. There's Moy again going, and that's a high shot. I'm not sure whether it was Gareth O'Brien or Yamila Hanley, but again, it just comes off the back of a quick play, the ball. Moy gets in, uses speed, uses footwork, targets Gareth O'Brien, who just has that swinging out.
Well, again, they are off their seats, baying in anger. Well, there's no discussion with the video referee this time.
And the fans are just like, now what's the difference? There's contact with the head on Gareth O'Brien.
Well, they just turned the heat up, hasn't it, on this game?
Do you know, it's a tough place to come when you're an opposing player.
Great offload, Liam Knight, and Burrow goes cantering forward.
Okay,
and up he gets and goes again.
Yeah, he's okay now, isn't he?
It's Asiata. This is very slow. Asiata now. Little search by Lane. Hull fans in full voice as their side attack again. Asiata up to the line, puts it back to Caesar. Caesar gets it away, can't right. Trying to hold off defenders, looking to keep that ball alive. He does. It's picked up here by Barron. It's another set of 6. Caesar puts the foot down, goes for the line. Held up, and they've got 6 to go. 6 to go. Laying siege. The 12 men of Hull are now 13 because Rapana's back on the field. And here they go. Dummy by Cust. Cust up, being dragged into the in-goal area. But Leigh had it under control. They knew what they were doing, forcing Hull back 10 metres. 13 against 13. And it's a white-hot heat provided by this atmosphere. Caesar's pass. Another touch from Leigh. Back to one again as Moy turns, runs it back, and a big shoulder coming in from Lyon.
He's exciting, isn't he, young Logan Moy?
Starting again. Cust. Oh, it's a forward pass.
Wow.
Talk about taking a pin to a balloon.
Yeah, on the first play as well. And the ball, wow, it is. Forward pass to Cade Cust, straight from the ruck. Mearborough will be so disappointed. Come up with a couple of good runs in this game. They'll be disappointed with that pass, though.
And everybody takes their breath. Fans on both sides settle back in their seats.
It was exciting, wasn't it? The fans were getting really caught up with the speed of the game. If you weren't in the black and white anywhere, the travelling Leigh support, a bit nervous.
And if you want a comparison to last year, you know, that first night, the very first game of last season, when Hull's indiscipline let them down and they had a sin binning and a sending off, and they just imploded. This looks like a Hull team with a bit more fight and a bit more sticking together and fighting for the cause about them.
Yeah, a different culture, different environment. Aidan Caesar and Jordan Rappin are both of those players who spent time in the sin bin. I think you've got two leaders there that genuinely do lead by example, both on and off the field, and what they say as well.
Says Pape, delivering left to Davis. Now it comes Lamb's way. That you always get a sense of something when it moves left from Leigh's point of view, but Tassignew's wrapped up, dealt with. Armstrong. There's Badrock. Mum and Dad are here tonight. Andrew Badrock's mum and dad. Proud night for them. Super League debut for their son. Here comes Lamb. Up it goes. Moy waits and takes. Leigh's chase is good. Bit of a grab again.
The Hull FC fans, they're going to just be giving, every time there's any contact around the shoulders, they're just going to go up, aren't they?
Not a comfortable night for the referee, is it? Because he's being urged to give decisions and brandish cards.
And you know, that's what I was going to say before. It was always terrible playing against Hull FC in a team, 13 lads on the pitch together. As a ref, you're on your own.
Ashworth promotes it. Caesar comes on at speed again, and that's a good little flick away from Cartwright. They're trying to create things on the wide right. Barron puts it back to the middle. It was a risky one. Cust caught in possession. Six tackle, not the best of balls to Caesar, who's being harried by Davis, but it's a good kick away towards the corner. Armstrong collects, looking to add some verve.
Briscoe was just trying to keep him up, then get some weight from Cartwright, push him towards that sideline. It's got good steal.
It's a ball steal.
Great steal.
Amir Barrow comes up with possession. Hull have it back again. There's still a minute and a bit left in this game. Caesar puts the kick towards that left-hand flank where Martin is just posing a threat, but Hanley watches it out of play. And Leigh will get it back again.
Do you know, if he could play that again, I'm sure he wouldn't have kicked that ball. He looked over his left shoulder and he thought that, yeah, we've got some space out wide there. He looks for Lewis Martin, but with a full set under your belt, maybe a couple of cracks they could have had at the line, especially with the playing in front of the fans as well at that end of the field.
Well, storylines everywhere in this first half. Leigh leading by the 12 points to 6. There could have been dramatic switches in that scoring, but the response from Hull, with their 2 men down, Leigh's failure to take advantage of that numerical numbering, means that as we approach half-time, it is still all to play for. Ipape bouncing out, little chip and a chase. That will be the end of it, I think. Leigh just makes sure the tackle is complete. Well, what a first half that was. What a first half that was. Both coaches will look on and see plenty that pleases them and plenty that displeases them in that opening 40 minutes. But the bottom line is it's Hull 6, Leigh 12 at half-time.
Dave, Terry, thank you very much. Did we mention it might be spicy to open up round 4 of the Betfred Super League between Hull FC and Leigh Leopards? An antagonistic transfer market between these two sides last year has spilled out onto the field. 2 sin binnings. Lachlan Lamb going to the referee looking for an explanation, no doubt. And I'll tell you, there's plenty in the crowd that would like to follow him there and understand a little bit more. Caesar in the bin, Rapina in the bin, and then Leigh able to take full advantage, scoring through a mile of Hanley. We'll analyse it all in the company of John Wilkin and Wigan Warriors star Cruz Leeming after this.
Stepping, getting past Dr. Clay, losing it, tap backwards by Gashevsky. Good work. Walters is out there. Hunt, the Shibasaki. Now Arthurs. Young threw a foot out. What a ball from Shibasaki to Ben Hunt on his return to the Broncos.
An explosive start to the Michael Maguire era in the Brisbane Broncos, demolishing the Sydney Roosters. We'll continue our NRL coverage. The relocated game between the Dolphins and the Rabbitohs, taking place in Sydney, not Brisbane, because of the cyclone, is 9 a.m. on Sky Sports Action and Sky Sports Main Event tomorrow. Saturday, we'll bring you Sea Eagles against the North Queensland Cowboys, 8:30 a.m. Sky Sports Action for that one. We're at the halfway point in the opening game of round 4 of the Betfred Super League. We're at the MKM Stadium, where the home side are chasing their first home win of the season. Leigh Leopards are looking for a 4th consecutive victory and have a 6-point half-time lead over the hosts. Well, delighted to say myself and John Wilkin are joined here pitchside by Wigan Warriors star Cruz Leeming. Cruz, your thoughts on what was a controversial, entertaining first 40 minutes?
Yeah, other than the talking points, I feel a bit for Hull because I thought that they were a better team that half. Most of the game were played down this end of the field, and I think from obviously what they've gone through and the fans and the atmosphere have obviously got behind them. They look like they're working so hard for each other. It's just a shame that you know, the controversial talking points of the yellow cards happened.
But they'll be delighted they're still very much in the game. Indeed, scored first.
Yeah.
Raised the spirits of the crowd.
Yeah, I thought it was an incredible start from them. I thought real effort, intent, showed fight and willingness to compete against Leigh. But ultimately, Hull scored first. They had some good field position, and then what we see from Hull is the combinations of Asiata, Caesar really start to kick into the play. We neglect the actual influence of offloads so much in the game, and Hull, you know, 2 offloads, one from Cartwright, one from Asiata. It just disrupts the defence. What about the subtlety from Cade Cust? The delay in that pass is just beautiful. The timing of the pass from Cust and the line from Cartwright, exceptional.
Yeah, and I think as well, when they've gone off the cuff like that, that were brilliant and summed up great by Cade Cust. But I think even the shape that they're playing, when they were playing down this end of the field, as stressed Leigh.
Yeah, but then we talk about shape. Well, Leigh are the masters of putting it on. We spoke about this man, Isaac Liu. His combination with his spine is exceptional. This man, David Armstrong, is electric, Brian. This is the following play. So they nearly broke them down. And then what they do, they back-to-back put plays on. Lachlan Lamb, we saw Cade Cust delay a pass, which was magical. It's a fantastic offload to Tezzy New for his try.
Badrock's offload, 1 of 3 from Leigh in that first half.
Yeah.
Hull FC had 10.
Yeah, well, I love that from Lachlan Lamb. We've seen 2 exceptional pieces of tempo, of understanding how to draw defenders, and, you know, fantastic play. But as we moved on, the game got very interesting after this, didn't it?
And the crowd got exercised. 4 points apiece, both conversions missed, somewhat surprisingly. He's a good kicker, and Aidan Caesar out there, certainly. It exploded with a Caesar sin binning. Take us through this, both of you, if you would, from your perspective. It seemed, I think, to the people in the stadium that this was like the bad old days at the start of last year when almost everything was going for a yellow card.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one again, isn't it? He comes out the line, he makes contact with the head, so nowadays it's hard to argue with that. I think the reason for it as well is sometimes when you're out of position and you shoot out of the line and you see Rapana, he's a bit out of position, lunging, try scoring opportunity. Sometimes it looks a little bit worse because you're out of position and it's almost like a bit of recklessness in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Reckless is the word, Cruz. It looks reckless. I'm not saying it's any worse than what Jack Hughes has done to Jed Cartwright here.
Well, this is what the crowd were up in arms about.
Exactly, it's the same, Brian. So they've hit him in the head. Penalty, for sure. The difference is, it doesn't appear reckless. The Aiden Caesar one felt reckless because he shot out the line to shut Armstrong down. Armstrong then forced a tackle off Rapana, but it's just how it looked. And I agree, actually, Cruz. I think you nailed it. I think Hull will feel unlucky. I think they were the better team for large parts of that half. Well, those 2 yellow cards were costly.
OK, well, with 2 in the bin, they did take advantage, full advantage, really, with a Milo Hanley's try. Hat-trick last week against the Catalan Dragons. He's back on the scoreboard again in his 30 consecutive game for Leigh.
Yeah, and I just think, like we touched on how hard Hull FC have been working this half, and obviously, like we're saying, the crowd's got behind them, and they've been instilled by the new coach. But even the try there, they're down a man. Milo Hanley scores, but you see everybody's getting across to try and stop that try. These people, last-ditch efforts, these prop forwards on the edge trying to stop tries there. I think it's a very good sign. Even though they concede a try, I think it is a really good sign from Hull FC.
Yeah, it's fight. They're fighting for every inch, but down to 11. David Armstrong was lethal when 13 on the field. Like his footwork, his balance, even some of his backfield play, catching the ball and beating people. He's really exciting me to watch. Great effort from Hull, but very clinical from Leigh when they needed to be.
Well, we saw, of course, after the penalty for a high shot, that John Cartwright jumped out of his seat to claim for 2. I think then he realised his kicker, Aiden Caesar, was in the bin. Up stepped Jordan Lane. Very coolly slotted it over, and importantly brought them to within 6 points. Just a converted try away from the Leigh Leopards, who are yet to be beaten this season in Super League. Can Hull FC register a first home win in front of a very patient and passionate home crowd? We will find out. They've got 40 more minutes to go in this fixture, but at the moment, Leigh lead by 6.
Here is passing on the charge again. Oh, what a performance it's been for the St Helens #1.
Well, that's a brilliant carry.
Peter Hiku slices through.
The execution of skill here.
A flying finish. And he is promising already to be a Super League superstar.
This sport of rugby league, it never stops providing moments of brilliance like that.
Two sides with unbeaten starts to the Betfred Super League season clash tomorrow at St Helens as Mikey Lewis and Hull Kingston Rovers roll into town to face an invigorated St Helens side. 7:30 p.m. Sky Sports action tomorrow for that one. Well, we're at the MKM Stadium to kick off round 4 of the Betfred Super League, and the home side trail by 6. They have, though, suffered 2 sin binnings in that first half. Leigh Leopard with that 6-point half-time lead. The teams, I believe, are on their way, so let's get to the tunnel to Jenna for some half-time team news. Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. Speaking to John Cartwright, he said that he felt his team dealt with the adversity really well. Of course, they went down to just 11 players. He's happy where the score is at the minute. They only trail Leigh by 6 points. Adrian Lamb, on the other hand, furious with how that half-time finished. He said that they just simply did not manage the game well when they had that 2-player advantage, and he just has asked his players to go back to being themselves for this second half. Okay, over to you, Dave Woods and Terry O'Connor.
Thank you, Jenna. Well, looking forward to this second half, especially after what happened in the first. My goodness, there's been some fire around, hasn't there? Good night tonight, John Asiata against his former club, looking to push home another former ex-Leigh player, sandwiched between his 2 Hull stints, of course. Tom Briscoe. Hull haven't won, we mentioned this earlier, Hull haven't won at home in 8 months. They beat Wigan here last July, but they have come up short every time since. And if they don't win here tonight, they've got to wait till Easter when they play Hull Kingston Rovers here to get that first win in what then would be 9 months. So they'll be hoping to get the job done here tonight. But Leigh have their own reasons to be cheerful, because they are on the verge of their best start to a Super League season with 4 out of 4. And of course, albeit perhaps temporarily, a win here tonight takes them top of the Super League table. A lofty height they've never been at before. What an incredible story they have been over the last few years. And here we go, Terry. What are we expecting in this second half?
Much of the same. I think that Hull FC will get a lot of confidence from that first half performance. I'm sure that when Jed Cartwright got his players, addressed them, he would have talked about how proud he was of what they're doing. He's got to be a bit careful bringing the ball away. Again, Burroughs just got to get that timing right for that pass. Don't give the ref anything to blow up for. But Leigh, let's not forget they're winning by 6 points. We've been bigging up Hull FC.
Yeah. Well, the game could have been blown wide open in that 10-15 minute period, couldn't it?
Yeah, most definitely.
Hold down at least 1 man, and for a long spell 2 men. And Leigh will be kicking themselves at not really putting their foot on the throats effectively enough. But what do Hull gather from that in terms of their response? Here's Keenan Brand with a return for Leigh with their first set in this second half. He's about 20 metres short of the halfway line when he plays it again. Hull's defence is good. Little ripple of applause from the home fans who enjoy that winning battle.
You'll always find as well, whatever sport that you watch, whether it be rugby or football, that the best players command the ball, they want to try something, they want to be in control of what the outcome's going to be. And it's going to be Aidan Caesar, Cade Cuss, Gareth O'Brien, Lachlan Lamb, and then the speedsters at the back. Whether that be David Armstrong or Logan Moy, it might be that point of difference.
Tuitavaki's just shepherded towards the left-hand side. It's taken on by Davis. Testing them out, good length strength from him to force them back an extra yard or two. The 3 who are on him. Last play, so Lamb will put it high. Logan Moy is being invited to come out again with a leap, but he seemed to stay up there for quite a while and has taken it safely enough.
Do you know, the pressure kicks, all the pressure kicks he's taken them, hasn't he? The one that was an absolute easy one, a sitter, he made an error.
He was probably already thinking about sprinting back to the 20-metre mark and taking the tap on that occasion.
Yeah, he's a great talent. Love watching him play, watching him develop over the next few years.
Academy Player of the Year just a couple of years ago, and here he is, commanding a place in the first team at the moment. Asiata throwing it wide to Caesar, and here comes Cuss now, and Cuss, there's a slip. Oh, it wasn't a slip, it was a push. Lachlan Lamb went to ground. Referee had his suspicions, and the penalty goes Leigh's way.
Is it Jed Cartwright that just nudges him, runs into him, Lachlan Lamb? You can see what he's doing. As soon as he makes contact, he knew, didn't he, Lachlan Lamb? He goes down there, they're going to blow up for a penalty.
So suddenly a switch again when Hull thought they were making progress. Now Leigh have possession and position. 6 to go, deep inside their opponent's half. Looking to build on their 1-score advantage. Tuitavaki pushing hard. Ipape already entangled, so gets to his feet, ready to play the ball. This is Lamb with a footwork. Eventually loses his feet on what's going to become a more tricky surface as the night goes on because of the rain that's falling. Well met, O'Brien.
He's jammed in a few times and made the right choice, hasn't he? Aidan Caesar.
Oh, that was forward.
Forward, yeah.
That was forward. Good heavens.
He's putting them under some pressure, Aidan Caesar, with his strong defence. They're numbering up well, Hull FC, and you can just see that ball drifts forward by about a metre, and the reaction there from Liam Knight on debut, the new signing. Over there, it's going to be interesting to see what he can add to this side over the next few weeks. What will he bring?
Australia in a bit of a cloud, Liam Knight, but he was with John Cartwright back at Manly few years ago, and he's played with I think he played with Aidan Seas as well in Australia. So there's a few familiar faces in the whole ranks.
9 years in the NRL, and he's come over to Super League now to try and build on his career.
Here's Briscoe, having a dance, having a look, wrapped up, put to ground. So Burrow stands and waits all the time in the world because it's slow, it's very slow. Asiata decides to have a carry. 3 ready and waiting. Still waiting for our first break, our first score of this second half. Caesar now. Hull are fancying their chances. Quick hands from Rapana. Lewis Martin now. It's attracting traffic his way. But Leigh having to defend midway inside their own half with Hull 2 more plays to go. Cartwright. And this now is the last. One final play. What do they concoct here? Asiata puts it back. Caesar, they're going through hands initially. Moy steps back on the inside, but always are covered. And it all fizzles out. Rather tameless in the end, and the coach a little frustrated with the way that ended.
Yeah, well, look, trying to ask some questions on the last play. 15 metres now from Leigh's line. Still not a bad place to turn the ball over.
That was Hanley.
Good now, Liam. 2. Move, Liam.
Hodgson.
Go to his move.
Outside backs getting involved. Here's another. Brand.
Held. Move. Hold kid.
Got some players missing, haven't they, Leigh? Josh Charnley, Frankie Holton, Robbie Mulhern. All on the sidelines for various reasons. But this Leigh 17 not doing a bad job so far. They've used their youngsters well so far this season. New coming back, searching for the middle. Here's Ipape now. This is the last. Well, again, he's having a little wander. There's not much on, so a chip and a chase, which yields very little in terms of attacking advantage. And Logan Moy just ducking underneath an arm. Contact to the head. Is Ipape worried here?
And the ref, and then just helped out by the crowd. Logan Moy, so dangerous, isn't he? Well, it goes over the top of him. And I said it for that Rapana one. There was nothing in it. Again, there's nothing in that one for me.
No.
We're just happy to get the penalty.
Just waiting for the player on the field treated. You can't imagine that the video referee is going to instruct beyond the penalty that's already been given.
And again, I'm going to say about this whole FC side, led by Aidan Seeder, just don't panic. They are up against a very, very good Leigh side with that man Edwin Ipape. He's so dangerous. They'll take the chances, and that man in particular has put his boot to the ball a number of times, just trying to find something himself. Gareth O'Brien down.
Closing in on a landmark as well, Gareth O'Brien. 16 points short of the 15,000 before the night began tonight. Kicked a couple of goals, so he's moved to within 12 points of that.
I think the physios just give the nod to the bench that he's going to come off for a HIA. Gareth O'Brien, when he goes in, he's trying to get Moy down. And there it is, another clash of heads as he's just going down to try and effect the tackle. Just as Moy hits the ground, comes over the top, Gareth O'Brien, and just cops one and goes down under the force. He's had his problems over the years with some head knocks. I said at the start of the game, what a great player, what a very good, talented player he is.
He's been around, hasn't he? Warrington and Castleford on loan, St Helens on loan, Salford, Toronto, Cass again, and here for a while now.
He's just a calm head, isn't he? Like the drop goal king, the clutch players that you want, he's going to step up and make them, isn't he?
Well, he's got 2 famous ones, hasn't he? The golden point against Hulkingston Rovers for Salford that effectively kept Salford alive.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have feared for the club had they gone down. Not much has changed, has it? And that one against Wigan, of course, the first ever 1-0 in Super League came from his boot. So not that he's thinking about those just at the moment. Hull looking to win a bit of ground here, get themselves inside their opponent's half. Seattle away to Caesar. Cartwright held up, put down. Still 3 to go. Over this halfway line, Brad Fash is on the field.
That's a big carry, isn't it, for your first touch in the game? Yeah, big carry on for Liam Knight. First touch.
Wrapping up. Dummy half, last play. Asiata's boot, trying to make things interesting. That is a good kick as well. The leap is prodigious. It's kept alive by Barron. It's still alive as well as Cartwright just manages to retain the interest, but the kick through is picked up by Armstrong and Leigh have it back.
Wow. Another good passage of play from Hull FC. Kick over to the right-hand side to the big man on the wing, Harvey Barron. And why wouldn't you? He's about 6'4", 6'5". Goes up, gets hold of that ball, offloads it. And Jed Cartwright going for the sideline, manages to offload the ball. And Asiata, nice little touch.
So many times you came to this ground last year and you could hear the fans losing heart with their team very early in matches. Whatever happens in this match now, I think the fans have suddenly regained belief in the players that are wearing the black and white.
Yeah, there's certainly a different vibe, isn't there? This year, under Jed Cartwright and the new investment at the club. And Richard Myler doing a decent job bringing players in and trying to change everything about the club.
Lamb with a kick, Moyes up there, collects safely, but Leigh's reaction's too quick for him to make any kind of impression. Barron.
See, they're those little no-nonsense players that you really appreciate as a prop forward. You appreciate that. You've got your winger coming in, carrying the ball, trying to lay that platform early on to get you to quick play the ball. He's picked out Brad Dwyer. He's pushed him back, and then Brad Dwyer, because he knows that he's been pushed back, he's trying to win that ruck again, gives the penalty away. It's a big play, that from Barron.
I think we might be in danger of the roof coming off if Hull score next. There's just that building anticipation.
Well, Herman SAS is onto the field. Here he is, first touch.
Leigh desperate to keep this growing storm at bay. Burrow. Caesar! Oh, almost through. Just grabbed back by Dwyer. Important tackle from him. Burrow now, surging forward again. Hull FC are chewing up the meters. Leigh are back on their own line. Needing to show some heart and spirit, the Leigh defence. Caesar pops it up. Inside goes Moy. Wrapped up easily enough by those willing defenders. This is Rapana. Caesar. Ball back for Fash. Rolled on to Rapana. Rapana falling as he throws it away to Moy. Too many Leigh defenders. They had that situation well and truly covered. Leigh had one more defensive effort to make. Caesar's kick is right across the face of them all, and it lands in the hands of Harvey Barron. And Barron will score the try. The referee's having a look. But it was a soccer-esque type pass right across the field, and Barron might have it. Let's hear from the video referee.
We've got a try on field. We go back to the kick, camera 4. And the players are called onside by the touch judge. Let's run this through now. All the players to the right are onside. We need something close in to see if that is touched by Briscoe or not. So back on that angle and see again. Have we got any other angles on that, please? Maybe something from the other side? coming now. Right, and that is missed by Briscoe. So we'll run this through. On to the next part, please. Right, the pickup is clean by Harvey Barron. He breaks that tackle and the ball is grounded. That tackle's always broken, the momentum takes him through it and the ball's grounded. I've made my decision.
Well, there are some collectibles in rugby league, aren't there? The way tries has scored, and that is right down there. Aidan Caesar's crossfield kick. It was like watching David Beckham in his pop. The way he picked out his man on the far side, and Harvey Barron on the end of it, keeping everything neat and tidy. And Hull FC are back within a conversion of levelling this game up.
Well, 2 weeks, 2 crucial tries. The 21-year-old winger scored the equaliser last week at Huddersfield with his full-length intercept. And the fans are going wild now. Big play from him. As I said, the size of him, he's a big, powerful athlete. And Aidan Caesar's been kicking the ball like this for the majority of the night, keeping it low, kicking for distance. He knew exactly where his target was. It was the big right winger. Briscoe just taps the ball over the top. Bailey Hodgson can't take it. And this is a big play and a big, big moment in this game.
He's another one who's already on 4 tries this season, Harvey Barron. Big kick for the mood of the night. Aidan Caesar settling himself down. How improbable, how implausible would this situation have been between the 20th and 30th minute of the first half, when Hull were down by 2 men behind on the scoreboard. They've weathered that storm, they've got themselves back level again.
And they knew exactly when they went to spend 10 minutes in the sin bin, Rapana and Caesar, that they had to come on and come up with big plays, get their hands on the ball and make things happen. Well, Caesar certainly got his hands on the ball and made something happen then with the crossfield kick, targeting Barron. Briscoe goes up, puts a bit of pressure on, and then Bailey Hodgson just couldn't quite compete then. Wow, what a game we've got.
Where do we go from here, Terry? Where does this game go from here? It's a game that just keeps on giving storylines, twists and moments of magic. And it's 12 apiece with 27 minutes to play.
Well, do you know what I would say as well is, and everyone talks about good defensive teams and communication is absolutely key, but that builds trust and confidence with everyone around you as well. And Amir Burrow again with a nice scoop, just chewing up 10 metres.
Asiata back towards the middle. SCSA, another big carry. Another surge of noise from the crowd as they respect that moment. Caesar sticking it very, very high. Armstrong safely does it. And he's well guarded by those oncoming defenders.
And look at the stats as well in the game. 33 missed tackles Hull FC have made, just 11 Leigh Leopards, but the completion rate from both sides are pretty good. The conditions are well, and it's pretty fierce out there on the field.
Banged in by Bailey Hodgson. Penalty for Leigh.
And just that second effort, he lands on his front, doesn't he, Bailey Hodgson, and he just can't resist. Brad Fash just has that a little tug. And it's moments like that that cost you a lot. That was a run to bust that. He lands on his front, finds his elbows, his knees. You got the marker, Cade Custer, who just couldn't quite get set, and you had the man at the back who was all over him, trying to prevent him from playing the ball quick.
So Leigh looking to reset their equilibrium, getting themselves back in the lead. A match they should be dominating, but they at the moment are being dominated. This is Davis. Troubling night for the man on the sidelines. Adrian Lamb looking on as coach and wondering how his side gets out of this. And this is one way they get out of this, with the sheer brilliance of David Armstrong. It It's a wow moment in a wow of a game. Like lightning, he thinks it's a try. Armstrong celebrating, so are the Leigh fans. It's all about the video referee.
Tackle 2, try on field, and we're checking grounded in the ball. Let's run this one through, this angle. Keep running it through, keep running it through. That tackle is always broken. Go back on this angle, please, and we'll go slow. Back a little bit more, there we go. On this one, yep. He goes. We're okay at this point. That ball is always held and in his possession. He's kept hold of the ball now, so now we're okay to this point and grounding. And slow, slow. And that ball appears to be on the line. Have we got something from the a handheld maybe at the side? Just double check it gets to the line on that first one. Yeah. Let's check that. If not, we'll go back to the other angle. Yeah, we'll flip back. Go on this one and then we'll flip to the front angle again. I'll just check on camera 8, see if that gives us anything more. This one might be our best one. Let's go on this. And we'll go back to camera 5 to finish off, please. It was camera 5, weren't it? Our first one. Yeah, Armstrong's in possession. He maintains possession, and he maintains possession all the way to the line. I've made my decision.
Well, he came with a pre-written reputation of being one to watch. I think the Hull FC players didn't see him because he came at such pace. It was a score of utter brilliance that is going to be confirmed, and it means that Leigh are going to be back in the lead again. Armstrong, individual magic.
Yeah, the speed gets it out of trouble, doesn't it? And you follow the ball, and you're looking at the man who's got the ball. I think it's Lachlan Lamb again. Set up a try in the first half.
And here's a conversion attempt that is in, is over.
Oh, big kick as well, wasn't it?
6 points the lead again. Sorry, Tim.
Yeah, well, Lachlan Lamb again did the damage in the build-up to this. You're following the ball, you're looking what's unfolding. He gets all the ball, it's that double pump again. And once you double pump, you get a 3-on-2. The two men who are defending outside of the man who gets the ball, Armstrong, they're panicking. Tom Briscoe panics. Cade Cuss can't quite get there, and didn't he do ever so well, Dave Armstrong, just to hold on to that ball.
He's a joyful player to watch, isn't he? I think he had a little smile on his face as he went through there, but for the neutrals, there are so many superstars in the game at the moment who can just turn a moment into magic, and he's certainly one of them. So Hull with a response needed again here. Leigh back with an element of control. Taken by Pape. Rattle in by Tuitabaka. Here's O'Neill. Challenge met by the Hull defenders. Well, we know that ain't the end of it. Script of the game so far tells us that there's plenty more to come here. Lamb, here's Armstrong once more. New with a step.
And they're just trying to line Armstrong up, so it's a one-on-one with Cade Cuss, aren't they? They spook any defender, that, when you're looking up at Armstrong and seeing what's unfolding in front of you.
Dwyer. Lamb. Straightened up by Davis. A couple of extra yards just nibbled away with the fall, but only one play to go. Lamb sticks it high. Logan Moy, well, it's going to be the winger who gets up there. Harvey Barron who gets up there again. The sheer size of him.
He's great, he's fearless, he's strong, he's powerful. And I said that there's good roots here at Hull FC with those three young players at the back.
Well, we saw Gareth O'Brien going off a little groggily earlier. We are being told now that he's failed his HIA, so that's a bit of a disadvantage from Leigh's point of view. Here's the moment. Just a clash of the heads, wasn't it? Just an accidental clash of the heads with Logan Moy.
A clash of the heads, and then he hits the ground as well. And so he won't be able to play next week against Batley in the Cup, will he?
Caesar kicks away off that left foot. Here's Armstrong waiting for the bounce. Offering it for Hodgson to have a carry.
And now with no Gareth O'Brien, you'll see Lachlan having a bigger influence on this game.
Is that a bit of cramp?
Bit of cramp, yeah. 58 minutes, you've got another 22 minutes.
It is unforgiving, this sport, isn't it? Doesn't matter how much you're hurting, you've got to get up and play the game.
Do you know, look, instead of lying down, do you know, just stretching the leg up from his teammate Lachlan, he tries to do the right thing, the honest thing, get up. Still wasn't quite right. He couldn't get his leg over the ball, on top of the ball, to play it.
Well, is it cramp or is it a calf pull here? He's grabbed the back of his calf again, but I think it is. He's going to be okay. So the initial diagnosis by Dr. O'Connor was right.
Like you said, it's cruel, isn't it? It's cruel.
And what it does is gives Hull possession back again inside their opponent's half with plenty of time to cause a few problems here. Who'd be a coach? Who'd be a coach? Pacing the sidelines. No influence at this stage. Burrow. Up and off. Asiata right into him. Caesar helps it on its way. An extra step or two by Leigh. Burrow. Caesar again, demanding the ball. SA demanding attention as he fires it in. Creeping closer here, Hull. Burrow. Asiata. Caesar. Numbers over there. Cust trying to duck back in again. They went right, they're coming left. Oh, and SA pops into the gap and runs over and past Armstrong. Unstoppable! Unstoppable! We love the steps and the flash of brilliance from Armstrong, but equally, hats off for that sheer power, size and ferocity from Herman SA.
He's we featured him at the start, the Herminator. I'll tell you what, penny for the thoughts, what was going through David Armstrong's mind when he was at the back line here. You can see him coming across, he's near the left-hand post, and he comes through. He's a big, powerful man, Herman SA. Everyone talks and focuses about his offloads and what power he's got. He's got decent footwork, plays some big minutes, but he's so powerful. And that is a big play from a big man who offers himself from a good no-look pass from Asiata, the former Leigh favourite, and there you go. The coach loves it.
We talk about the unforgiving nature of this game. If you're standing full-back there, David Armstrong, you must have looked up and thought, what am I supposed to do about this that's coming my way?
Nothing. You're shouting, he's yours, to your teammates around you.
Another twist in this wonderful game. And Caesar settles and sticks it over, and we're all square again. 18 points apiece. 1 hour play. They're enjoying it. We're enjoying it.
Look, to be fair to David Armstrong at the back, you'll watch Herman SA every time he gets the ball and he goes into contact, into the biggest of forwards in Super League. The first one's always a big bump off. He had a clear run through the line, and there was no chance of him being stopped.
Well, he scored a couple last year in Hull colours, did Herman SA, but that is his first try on this ground, which makes it an extra special moment. Sadly for him, it was at the end where the Leigh fans were. He'd have loved to have danced that jig with the black and white shouting his name at the other end, but he'll take it for what it is. Those are the games coming up. Big game tomorrow, Saints Hull KR, as you saw. Cas Salford goes ahead, we're told. You can watch that on Sky Sports Plus. Plenty of NRL action. It's underway properly. The Seagulls against the Cowboys. Catalan against Leeds on Saturday, and the two Vegas teams, Warrington and Wigan, in action on Sunday against Wakefield and Huddersfield respectively. And a reminder, the Bench podcast comes your way on Monday, and it is one you have to listen to this week. the future of women's rugby league. A lot of reaction to that England result against Australia in Vegas. Well, a real deep dive in what the reaction should be after that. Here's a kick for Armstrong to take, and he has taken it well. And they start from there.
Even a little stylish pirouette when he went up to get hold of that ball. Logan Moy was chasing it down his opposite. You see, goes up, spins around, gets to the ground, and Brad Fash, Logan Moy there to complete it, and now all of a sudden Leigh have the backs against the wall. I know the game's all locked up at 18 apiece, but they seem to be playing with so much confidence here now.
It's brought out by Brand, Keenan Brand. Either side could go on and win it from here. So wonderfully well poised. But on the last, Leigh find themselves inside their own half, so Lamb will kick out a dummy half. Looking for distance, he'll find a bounce into the hands of Martin. Martin with the return. 4 make up the welcoming committee.
Well, when you focus and you're prepared to play against the Leigh Leopards, you're not playing against a team that's been newly promoted a couple of years ago. You're playing against a quality side that really backs themselves to be in the mix come the end of the year. They showed that when they won the Challenge Cup. Was it in 2023?
Yeah, like you said earlier, start of the night, a lot of people would have made Leigh favourites coming here tonight. And that might still be a justified judgment come the end of the evening, but just at the moment, it's anybody's game. Rapana goes out. Asiata throws it back. Caesar's on the back of it. Cost's waiting as well. Briscoe trying to brush off defenders.
But how much damage does Asiata do every time he carries the ball? He really goes deep into the line and gets people interested. Nice big kick again.
Caesar puts it up there. Armstrong waiting for it to come down. And he is looking to get things started with Keenan Brand, but Brand working his way back midfield. And Leigh.
Hold Jed. Go nice, Jed. 2.
Pepe. Dwyer was marching up there as well, the 2 number 9s, if you like. Dwyer's up there this time to take control of that dummy half situation. Trout rolling it back. Lamb keeps it alive.
Surrender! Stand out back!
Hodgson goes down and plays.
You're good now.
Dwyer comes shooting out. Hughes will carry it a little further, laterally, and manages to push Rapana away, and has another go.
Get back, lad. Come on, Jed.
1 to go. Dwyer wants it played quickly. Out it comes, back it goes. Lamb again carries, thinks about the kick. And Armstrong does put it through, but there's Barron to pick it up, and long-leggedly comes striding out there as well, with power as well. I think he's got the offload away, and it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on. If that was an intended offload, what was he thinking? Maybe he was just losing control of the ball.
Well, when he gets hold of the ball, does all the hard work, and then all of a sudden he sets his targets, looks to power up the field. And they've gone for a challenge here, have they? They're not happy with the decision that it was a knock-on from Barron.
Challenging the call of a knock-on.
See from the video ref.
There's not been a tackle yet. Hull FC are challenging the on-field ruling of a knock-on. This is in possession. Still in possession. And that appears... Is that part of the tackle? Have we got anything else on this? This one might be better for us. Dwyer appears to be making that tackle. Have we got anything to show if the ball hits Brad Dwyer or not? Because the ball appears to always be in Harvey Barron's hands. Have we got anything else this angle might show us? He's making a tackle at that point. Does that ball touch Brad Dwyer's hand first? Stay on this angle, please.
There's a process, mate, and he's following it.
Brad Dwyer's just making a tackle there, and you can't establish whether that touches his hand or not before it goes backwards. After viewing all of the angles, the footage is inconclusive. We'll stick with the referee's on-field call, but Hull FC maintain the right to challenge.
So there you go. You heard the explanation. Inconclusive, so they stay with the decision going Leigh's way. But Hull do retain the right to challenge again. It's a big decision, that, Terry, because...
yeah, huge.
Leigh got a chance now, haven't
they? Huge decision. And with time running out, and with the attacking threats and danger men that Leigh have so close to Hull's line, well, they've got to come up with the same sort of discipline, team spirit that Jed Cartwright, or that they're shown in the first half when they were 2 men down.
Well, they are both teams very used to being in tight situations. Leigh famously, of course, winning that first game against Wigan on the opening night. But, of course, no Gareth O'Brien on the field. So if it does come down to drop goals, they're missing a major part of their armoury, although Lachlan Lamb has shown himself capable in that Wembley final a couple of years ago. And Huddersfield took Hull all the way until Aidan Caesar kicked a drop goal last week. So the nerves are capable of holding when locked in games like this, both sides. But Leigh have chance to strike here. Hanley, well, that's a good carry. Good start to the set. Umaila Hanley really battling hard for his team. He's taken back just a stride or two, but it's all the strides he made. Here's Dwyer. Just rattled in by Louis Brogan. 2 gone, 4 to go, 5 yards to cover. Dwyer goes out to Lamb. Lamb with another double pump. Armstrong is there again to score again. It's a second, and this time it's getting close to being a match winner if it is given.
Trial field.
Trial the field is given. Video referee is being called into action again.
Tackle 2, got a try on field. We're just checking ground into the ball, please. Comes in possession. He's still in possession. He's still in possession. Just not got anything from the side. It's going towards the line now. The ball is in his hand, and really slow, please. Still in possession, and the ball is grounded. I made my decision.
Well, he's got what it takes when the try line is in sight. Armstrong's second of the night, and his side will push ahead again here when this try is confirmed. There it goes. Armstrong's done it again.
Well, such a danger man, such a game breaker, and his partnership with Lachlan Lamb is so dangerous over on the left-hand side. Whenever you've got a half-back or a loose forward that's willing to get into the teeth of the defensive line and just play it nice and tight, and then you deliver the ball out wide. As soon as Lachlan Lamb delivers that pass, again it's the double pump, gives it to Armstrong. There's a 2-on-1 with the winger Barron, but he knows he's that quick, he'll back his pace, and he gets through Asiata, trying everything to prevent him from scoring. The little double pump play, a couple of players fall for it. Armstrong's left with a bit of space, and Adrian Lamb, well, he's delighted.
Briscoe in the middle of that, just drawn in by the double pump and the dummy run as well, wasn't he? And the kick is not good enough. So the door still remains wide open for Hull to come back here.
Well, a massive 12 minutes, isn't it? That man won't be back on the field to help Leigh keep the lead. Well, that man is on the field, David Armstrong. And you can just see a couple of decoy runners sucking the defenders. They fall for the sucker punch. The speeds that has that space that he needs. And they go in. 2 crucial tries from that man tonight.
Adrian Lamb's never kicked a goal before that, by the way, and that record remains intact. Oh, the kick is allowed to bounce. Oh, my goodness. There's a little bit of fortune as Keenan Brand was right man at right place. Nerves are rattling. I tell you, we'll remember this game for a few months, won't we?
It's been a great game. We did say at the beginning, didn't we? The attitude, the way that Leigh have changed.
Here's Ipape. doing what Pape does.
Oh, he's offload.
What's he done?
See, and that's one of those brain explosions. A brain explosion.
Listen to the noise.
Like with a 4-point lead, with 12 minutes to go, Edwin Pape, one of the best in the business. It's not needed. You're on your second play. You've just scored a try.
He knows. He knows.
You do.
He won't forgive himself for that.
You don't need anyone telling you. Do you know you've made a mistake? What you will see from him in the next 12 minutes is trying to make amends for that mistake.
On the line. Come here, let's go. 3 seconds.
It's a whole gifted position.
Shot clock off. Wait there. Straight in.
All he can do is stare and hope and wonder as Caesar takes it on, and Cost helps it on its way again, and Brisker, man of so much experience, taking it closer still. Straightened up and made honest. 4 plays left in this set. All the time in the world to try and create something. Caesar back on the inside. Jordan Leigh dancing and stepping and getting his pass away. Oh, and just about rescued. My goodness. They almost gifted it back, but from nowhere, Cartwright came in to collect it. And still, they seek that glory. On the line from Knight. Again, another urge of sheer muscularity to try and break things open. 1 to go. Burrow. Caesar slides the ball into the in-goal area. Pape juggles. Oof, dropped on by Armstrong.
Well, the ball was always going to go to Aiden Caesar. And it's a nice, delicate little kick that gets the ball over the line and gets him another set of 6.
Other nerves of steel here to go for a short one. Or does Lachlan Lamb just belt it as far as he can?
Well, if you were going to belt it, I wouldn't be belting it to Herman SASA's side.
Looking for distance. Here comes the new boy, Liam Knight. That's one. Tension is palpable all around this stadium. Everybody on the edge of the seats. Here's SASA. It's a game that is still to be won and lost. Burrow. Late move by Caesar. Down this left-hand side. Puts it back again. The full-back's involved. Rapana's involved. Rapana! Has he got that down? Or was it a bounce? The referee, clear-sighted, says clear bounce. And Leigh survive and get the tap back on the 20.
Great defence, Keenan Brand and David Armstrong just coming in at the last second just to get under that ball. Well, Keenan Brand come up with a big play, big moment in the game.
It's another big moment in a match that has been absolutely full of them. So close, but so determined in defence. And Leigh carry back with fervour inside their opponent's half. Dwyer goes out. This now is Liu. Spinning and twisting. Dwyer, little bottle of energy, isn't he? Full of fizz. There again. Lamb trying to draw defenders, and Hughes. Another stride or two. Look how far they've gone in this set to within 10 metres. Lamb goes searching down that left-hand side where Dwyer is just hovering, but holds defenders, responding kind, and carry him out of play. They'll get it back on their own terms.
Strong defence. I felt like they just needed a bit of pressure on Lachlan Lamb when he switches the ball, comes back to the blind side, gives it to that man, Brad Dwyer. But strong defence from Hull FC. Pleased the crowd, all unfolding on that side of the pitch where all the fans are.
Well, draw your breath and get ready for this final 7 minutes. Here we go. Leigh with the advantage, but it's a breakable lead. And Hull, who've shown so much character and vigour in the game, looking to respond maybe one final time.
Go to, that's better.
Burrow. trying to push with every ounce that's left in the body of Jed Cartwright.
And try and keep hold of that ball as well, just above his shoulder.
Asiata in, Caesar's there again, and Caesar's taken well. Good challenge from O'Neill, who got across to make that cover tackle well. Rapiner almost loses his feet. Now he finds his balance. And trying in kind to unbalance his opponents. They've reached the last. They're going to have to kick from inside their own half and hope for the best. Caesar left-footed. Milo Handley got there quickly, but not quite quickly enough to close down completely. Armstrong swinging it out. Here's Hodgson.
I feel like they need to hunt a mistake here now, Hull FC.
Nice, John.
One thing that has been impressive for Leigh is the amount of meters they make on the kick returns and bringing the ball away exactly like this.
5.5 minutes remaining. If there is to be another score, then surely it wins it. But Hull, of course, have to convert. Here's Dwyer.
That's 3.
Liu.
Still 3.
Considering the offload, I'm sure, at some point in there, but so many bodies around him. Lamb gets it away to Hughes. Hughes, the old soft shoe shuffle.
Come on, Liam, hold it.
And now it's the last.
Go 5.
Neither side willing to break at the moment. Lamb with a kick, and it was a clever one, hammering it at Barron, and it's back to Wong. That was such a clever kick from Adrian Lamb. He's rattled it at the whole player, knowing that anything could happen from that, and he's got another set of 6.
I like to take an attacking kick instead of looking for the sideline. Well, again, just puts pressure on the winger Barron, who just keeps the play, just kicks the ball, and now they get another set of 6.
Here's Trout, rolls it back. Liu hands it on. Louis Brogan straightening it up. Leigh's game to win from here. It's Dwyer. Liu again. He's going to run it. Backs in. Hull desperate to hang on. Dwyer skips out, puts it short, and it's reached by O'Neill. But it's a double movement.
Yeah, double movement.
Desperate to win the game, wasn't he? Desperate to win the game.
The temptation's just too much, isn't it? And Ethan O'Neill just saw that white line in front of him, tries to stretch over, kid the referee.
4 minutes and counting. The whole drama could switch yet. Leigh will be desperate. It stays as it is. 8 months since their last home win. Hull FC have thrown everything at this one here tonight to break that tawdry record. Can they find a breakthrough? Asiata back to Caesar. How many times have we seen that combination? Caesar here now. Rapiner. Cust. SA. Drawing defenders' efforts with his own and falling. 2 to go. Will Hutchinson on the field from the interchange bench. Caesar. Step on the inside. Oh, good effort from Ipape, but he can't stop the play from continuing. Caesar with another of those kicks, and Barron's on the chase here, and it's well taken in the end by Bailey Hodgson. Boy, did that need diffusing. He won't care. He's conceded the drop out underneath the sticks, because that could have been heartbreak. Instead, Leigh still very much in the box seat.
How quick the game turns. You're looking at sorting out a play over on your left-hand side, and all of a sudden Aidan Caesar gets the call from young Harvey Barron on the right-hand side to kick the ball. He kicks the ball in behind Bailey Hodgson, puts pressure on that man, and he does enough, doesn't he? They'll get another set of 6. A big defensive set here now for Leigh.
Lamb clears, caught by Moore. Back they come for more. The battle is on. Leigh are going to be tested to the limits in the 2 minutes that remain. Hutchinson picks up. SA with another huge effort, just slamming it forward. 4 tackles for this game to be decided in. Asiata pops it back. Lane helps it on. Now a chance for the corner, and a dive by Lewis Martin. He's wondering, so is he. We're going for the video referee to decide it. Try on the field. This to bring Hull back level. What a huge moment this is.
It's tackle 2, we've got a try on field, checking ground in, touch and go, please. Lewis Martin's in the field of play when he jumps. He's in the field of play. And can we go to the back angle, please? Let's have a look at the feet.
Same again, mate. There's a process. Can't split tonight.
He jumps from the field. Jumps from the field. Go slow, slow, slow. Foot is up, foot is up. Foot is up. And we can't see that. Can we go back to the front angle, please, on this same front angle? Right, let's go from this one. Go back a bit, please. Roll it through, roll it through. We'll just confirm, is anything on the handheld from that side? Does it give us anything? Try this one. Okay, right, our best angle is going to be the front on one. So roll it back, please. Right, slow now. His foot is in the field, foot is in the field, foot is still in the field, and right there you can see green between the line and his boot, and the ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
Keenan Brand was within a millimetre of being a try-saving hero, but it's Lewis Martin who takes the crown when this try is confirmed. Wait for this noise in the very last minute of the game. Seconds remaining. Lewis Martin brings us level. And from the touchline, Hull have a kick to win it. What a game.
That was an amazing finish from Lewis Martin. I won't get bored of saying how good Logan Morty, Harvey Barron and Lewis Martin are. And I think they've showed it in a game against a team that has been exceptional at the start of this year. What a finish to the game so far we have got. And look at that. Like you said, Keenan Brand tried absolutely everything. And he just lifts his heel up at the last second. And wow, a big, big kick to come here.
Aidan Caesar, how is your nerve? All faithful echoed around. Will settle to near silence, I should imagine, as Caesar, with a chance to win it here, the clock running down. This will be the last kick of the 80 minutes. Caesar rolls forward, it starts off looking well. Oh, he's hit the post! He's hit the post! We're going to golden point extra time, unless something even more dramatic happens in the final 18 seconds.
Wow. Too much paint on the woodwork.
Super League 2025, what are you doing to us? Testing the nerves every week. It's the ultimate sporting drama that just keeps on delivering. Is there more to come in normal time? How many seconds left? 10 to go. Hull start deep. Where do they go from here? Rattled in hard by Ashworth. The hooter sounds, and we're off to golden point extra time after the most extraordinary game of so many storylines, so many cameos, so many moments of brilliance, and it has yet to be decided. Terry, make sense of that.
That is incredible. You asked the question at the start. And again, what we expected, instead, exciting game, a big test for Hull FC to see where they stand in this season, up against the champion side like Leigh.
We do not want to go home on Thursday nights, and we've got more to come, Brian.
What is happening in season 2025, Cruz Levy?
What a game, what a game. That were unlucky, hit the post twice, but what a game.
This crowd, this stadium erupted when Lewis Martin went over in the corner.
Yeah, and it's hilarious because we've got a screen down here and the fans are all looking at us. We're looking at the screen. Lewis Martin's boot, we're getting a close look at it. We can see his heel is just millimetres off the ground. What a dogged performance from Hull.
Luke Robinson said something last week. He said when it was tied up, he said, I knew that Aidan Caesar, in Aidan Caesar, Hull FC had one of the best players in the game to ice a match. And that is what Hull FC, I should say, have in their locker in this one going into Golden Point extra time. No Gareth O'Brien for Leigh, Aidan Caesar for Hull FC.
Yeah, and I think that's massive now. There's no Gareth O'Brien. He's obviously another one that can ice drop goals. And I think Aidan Caesar, through his career, he's relished in these moments, and he'll be thinking now, just get me in front of the post, get his big men to take him forward.
Hull will kick off, Matt John.
Massive for them. They kick the ball down there. They've got one good defensive set, and then they're going to, if they do that right, they D up here, they're aggressive, right, they're going to get the first look at one point. They'll have a bit of territory early on, that's big.
Leigh, of course, won the Challenge Cup at Wembley, courtesy of a Lachlan Lamb drop goal. Might he be the man that steps up? Might we have a try to win it at Golden Point extra time? May we end up with a draw? You'll find out in the company of Terry O'Connor. And back to you, Dave Woods.
Thank you, Brian. What about Brad Dwyer as well? Don't forget his drop goal for Leeds that time, when David Ferner looked as though he was going to send him back home with a good hiding, and then it somehow crawled over the crossbar.
Yeah, against Cass, it looked like he was kicking a bag of cement. Yeah. It was going everywhere.
Somebody is going to be a hero tonight. Unless, of course, we have 5 minutes each way and it remains as it is. And then we just share the points out. Well, I mean, as we always say on these occasions, all kinds of philosophical debates as to whether we should have Golden Point or not. But just at the moment, we love it because it's giving us more drama on a night that's given us so much so far. Hull get the kick-off. Leigh have first touch of the ball. Can they get as far downfield to put themselves in kicking position? They did it against Wigan on the opening night, on another night of drama. Can they do it again here? Or is this going to be Hull's win? They know their way around this situation. Here's Hughes.
And it'll all come down to just one man in Lachlan Lamb. No, obviously Gareth O'Brien on the field.
Leigh have never lost a Golden Point, by the way. 2 wins and 1 draw in Super League. Hull have been involved in 7. 3 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses. I think the first ever Golden Point involved Hull FC, didn't it? Mark Sneed, I think, kicked a drop goal in against Wigan. Here's Ipape. Now, is this too far? Is this too far? 40 metres out. Ipape's called another couple to give himself a chance. Lamb's just going to put it up in the air, hoping for a mistake from Hull, but it's caught well by Moy. And Hull start from a similar situation from where Leigh started.
Yeah, and good save again from the youngster. Nerves of steel at the back. And Lachlan Lamb wouldn't go for the 1 point just in case the ball went dead, and then Hull FC gets 7 tackles. Didn't want to gift them that extra play from the 20.
Well, the ifs and buts of rugby league, Leigh will have felt that they should have put this game to bed in the first half when they had that numerical advantage. But Hull are proving tonight they are a team full of characters and character. 1 to go. They're not going to go for a drop goal here. Caesar's just going to look for distance. Armstrong will catch, and this is advantage Leigh, because they will start in a much better position for their set.
And again, no one in. Caesar be disappointed, wanted to find the ground. Instead of giving it the ball straight, clean catch to Armstrong.
3, 4, 5 carries. And then what happens next?
That's good defence from the ruck. Left on his own. Asiata, just one marker, did well to deal with that.
They'll be looking for someone down the middle just to put one of those big lung-busting bursts on to give themselves position. Lamb keeping it central. Liu takes it in. That's the last. Does Lachlan Lamb fancy this range? He's not standing deep enough for a drop goal. He's going to go again for the tactical kick. He's going through hands. Here's Armstrong. with a jab through, and again carefully collected by Moore.
He'll be so nervous at the back now. Nobody on that field deserves to walk off.
Oh, big hit. Welcome, by the way, to all the viewers who are joining us late, because you might have got a Sky Sports alert that this drama is going on. Well, where have you been if you are joining us? Because you've missed an absolute barnstormer of a game.
Well, Owen Trout then just tried to make headlines himself and come up with a decent shot. Nice carry, Yusuf Aiden back onto the field. Look at this for a shot.
Oof. At this stage of a game, SASA lobs it off. Hughes is coming from an offside position, so Dent make the tackle. Hull find the halfway line. Caesar again is looking for tactics rather than glory from such a distance. Leigh wind themselves up again. Remember, 5 minutes and they swap ends. So a minute and 15 or so left to play. Oh, that's slow, and that does Hull a favour because they're ready and they're revved, and up they go quickly on their defensive line. Leigh struggling to make headway. But in both ranks there are game breakers, not just with boot, but with ball in hand. Here comes Dwyer, flicking it in. Liu to Lam, and Ipape's wide. He's running an obstruction line, so has to take the tackle. I don't think they're going to get the distance here. Need something very special here if they're going to put themselves in drop goal range. Still not close enough. This could be the end of the half. 20-odd seconds left before the hooter blows again, and I think Lam might have gone for glory there, given the time situation, but never got it off the ground. Hull desperate not to give it away. Penalty in this situation's massive as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're feeling it now. Some of the Hull players really starting to feel it now.
And that is the end of a fairly even first half of Golden Point. And it remains all square at 22 points apiece.
Well, we're locked up with a late Lewis Martin try, sent us into Golden Point, and of course they may reflect on an Aidan Caesar missed conversion early in that game. Sides locked up after 80 minutes. Nerves jangling here, shredded at the MKM Stadium. This is the one that came off the crossbar. John Wilkin, Cruz Leamy, you would say from a tactical perspective, that first half of Golden Point extra time from both sides has been pretty good.
Yeah, incredibly patient. We've not seen any of these forced attempts at drop goals from poor positions. Lachlan Lam had a dig. There's 14 seconds left, understandable. Really patient, and it's good to see.
Yeah, I think you can't blame two sides. Two sides go war of attrition, and it's been played pretty much in the middle of the field. I think it's the right option to not go for a forced drop goal.
Pressure question, both of you quick, one answer. Cruz, who wins this one?
Hull.
Leigh, come on,
Cruz! They're split down here. Back to you, Terry and Dave. Take it away.
5 minutes later, and it's all square, is our prediction up here. They both hit the post, of course, both sides. Caesar with a first of the night and his last of the night, and O'Brien with his first of the night as well. So they'll both look back at conversions that could have changed the outcome. But it's Hull who go. Oh, he's out of play! He's out of play! Briscoe! He's caught that! Now, did he have a foot out of play before he caught it? Or did he take it that way?
Time off.
Captain's challenge.
Jack, it's been challenged. Jack. Captain's challenge from Hull FC. They're challenging the decision of touch.
This is huge.
Not the tackle yet. Hull FC are challenging the ruling of... You go touch.
Yeah, touch on field.
Touch on field. Keep really slow on this, really slow. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going on that. No touch. Have you got anything from the behind angle, please? Camera 9, please. Right, this one might be our best. Can we determine when he touches the ball on this one, though? See the ball when it comes into shot at the top, please. You go on the same angle, but slow. Go on the same angle, please, and slow. Right, so the ball isn't in his hands yet. Really slow. The ball isn't in his hands yet. And the foot is on the line. Go back again, let me see the ball above his shoulder. The ball above his shoulder. And the next frame. Next frame, please. Next frame. Ball's still in there. Right, can we go to the front on angle again? Really slow on this. Really slow. Really slow. Really slow. Have you got any other angles on this? Does anything give us anything else? You can't see the touchline, I don't think, on that one. Try this one, please. Try this angle. Based on all of the angles that I've seen, the challenge is inconclusive. I'll be sticking with the referee's on-field call and they maintain the right to challenge.
What a moment! What a call!
No.
I tell you, the touchline has played a massive role in this game tonight, hasn't it? Decision pending. They stick with the on-field decision. Challenge inconclusive. And instead of Hull having a penalty on the halfway line, Leigh get the ball back right in front of the Hull sticks.
No.
I don't think anyone could believe this.
I'm sorry. I am sorry that it catches this ball. His foot is on the line.
Is it? Are you sure?
Absolutely. The other angles, like from the angle that saw from behind, 100%.
There's a divot in the ground where his boot was.
100%. You could see what he was doing.
And the divot would suggest the ball, his foot was on the line. But.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, I hope there's a cue. There we go. There's the divot on the line, on the whitewash. And that's where his boot was. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or is it? Or is the divot actually in play? Was a video referee absolutely spot on? Well, I think you could argue that all night. In the meantime, game back on. And Leigh now have 2 or 3 settlers here to put themselves in drop goal range or even score the try. It ain't won yet, it ain't lost that yet. Dwyer throws it back. Lamb's going to take his chance. Charged down and chased after. Leigh will get it back, but inside their own half. What else can this game give us tonight?
I tell you what, they're pumped up and ready to go now, these Hull players. Look at them all.
I think everybody should queue around the stadium at the end of the game to pay extra money for what they've watched tonight.
And this is it now, they need calm nerves, Dave.
Unbelievable. So Leigh have it back. And they're still in very decent position. And this is Armstrong. On a hat-trick, of course, but he passes away. Leigh getting back in position. Back in position. 3.5 minutes to go. This is taken on by Louis Brogan. 3 gone, 3 to go. How are their nerves? Back it goes. Lamb again. They're trying to find a way through to score the try. Armstrong keeps it alive. Lamb throws it into Liu. Liu now drives it on. Liu's put down.
He's sat in a pocket, Lamb.
Lamb's waiting. Lamb's waiting. Another set of 6. So they're not going to go too quick. Dwyer dashes out. Hull on their own line. Desperate to defend as they have been all night. Ipape puts it back. Adrian Lamb didn't fancy that chance. Armstrong runs it. Takes a slip. Down he goes. Here's Ipape. Numbering up on the left-hand side. But he went right. Now he goes left. Now they come central again. There's a hullabaloo all around Hull at the moment. Noise is deafening inside the stadium. Dwyer. They take their time. Back to Lamb again. Oh, he doesn't even get it off the ground. Hull survive.
able to withstand all that then. Hull FC, they were under the pump, they were under some pressure. He just scuffs this, a bit of a warm burner from Lamb.
SA drives it in. If there were any questions about whether Hull were up for the fight in 2025, they have all been answered tonight. What a job he's doing.
Outstanding. What about the atmosphere as well?
Caesar, they have been on the ropes. It's like a heavyweight battle where one fighter has been on the rope into the 3rd round, the 4th round, the 5th round and the 12th round, but he's still standing up and he's fighting. Back it comes. Rapida, charge down. So play on. No, knocked on.
He's knocked on.
Knocked on. With 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. It's another captain's challenge.
Relax. To retain the challenge. That's it. Jack.
It's another captain's challenge.
They're challenging the ruling of a knock-on.
There's no tackle. Hull FC challenge the ruling of a knock-on. It's from a kick. So we'll have to pause it on the foot, please.
The challenge of the challenger.
We've got everybody offside. But then let's just run it through to see if this ball is charged down.
It's in the process.
Right. That ball is charged down. Go pause it at the point of the charge down, please.
It's been reviewed, mate. It's been reviewed. It's all been reviewed.
The point of the charge down. I think it's Jed Cartwright who touches this ball. He's outside the 10, so he will then be back onside if he touches this ball. It's the charge down. Touches Trout. So Cartwright is then back onside as he's outside 10 of this charge down. Run it through now to see if he knocks on. The charge down will play everyone back onside. Let's see if he maintains this close in. Touches Cartwright's. It's coming now. Slow on this. Keep going slow. That touches Cartwright's hand there, as you can see the fingers move. Go slow, 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 and he uses the ground to retain possession of the ball. This will be a knock-on. The challenge is unsuccessful by Hull. Hull will still have one challenge remaining.
It's going to be another unsuccessful challenge. Where do we go from here? Minute and 20 seconds to play. Leigh will get it back again. Inside their own half.
No, mate, they're outside the 10.
Have you ever seen anything like this? This is extraordinary.
Yeah.
Absolutely extraordinary.
It'll be cruel for either side here to lose this game. They've given so much.
It's 20 past 10 on a Thursday night in Hull. I don't think we'd want to be anywhere else, would we?
I was just about to say.
Well, Leigh get it back. Leigh get it back. Is there still fight in this Hull side to see out this last 1 minute and 20 seconds? Can Leigh find a way through? Referee's losing his cool. I think he'd given a handover and realised it was a knock-on, so it's a scrum.
Well, there'll be a little bit of magic here. Lachlan Lamb, long kick. David Armstrong going for it, using all his speed, maybe catching Hull out. Look at all that space behind that defensive line for Hull.
Clock's running again. Not sure if there's going to be time for Hull to win it from here, but there is certainly time for Leigh to win it from here. And that is a penalty. Oh, a big decision here. Do they try for goal from this position, or do they kick for touch and go for position?
Yeah, you can see he's got 3 plays to choose from there. Tom Grant, and decision here to say, look, do we go for goal? Should we tap it?
They're going to tap and go. They don't fancy the chances of going from distance.
If Gareth O'Brien was on, they would have gone for it.
So there's tackle 1. 5 left. And 40 seconds to go from here. 40 seconds to maybe settle this night. The tussle is on. Hull desperate to slow things down as much as possible. Into the last 27. Back it comes. One drive and then surely they've got to go for the drop because they're running out of time. Liu wrapped up. Adrian Lamb has just taken Lachlan Lamb rather has just taken a big deep breath behind all this. Back it comes to Lachlan Lamb to try to win it from here. Again he doesn't get it off the ground. It runs free though to that left hand side and Hodgson. He comes back. Lamb throws it over the top. Here now is O'Neill. The hooter sounds in the background. This could be mesmeric, memorable, momentous in the way it finishes. Back to Hanley. Hanley puts it back on the inside. Now it's with Armstrong. Armstrong out to the right, shows the dummy, throws it inside again. Brogan gets it away. Lamb's put down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of it. It doesn't matter where you are. Stand up and applaud two magnificent teams and a quite wonderful game of rugby league.
That is outstanding. What an effort from the 34 players on shore. Courage, so exciting to watch, the bravery from everyone right at the end, chasing down the Leigh plays to prevent them from getting to 1 point. Incredible, especially when they had those two players simmering in the first half. Before that was it, game, set and match. They can't surely win this game. Well, they can't win it, but they've got a valuable point.
That was utterly magnificent. Absolutely sensational. There ain't no sport like rugby league when it's played like that. It has finished a long, long time after it started. Hull 22, Leigh 22.